advanced concepts in hot yoga, pushing your limits. You feel like you're stuck in your practice, like you're not able to improve. There are most likely 3 reasons why. This is not a video for somebody that's injured. This is somebody that's ready to take the practice to the next level, but they're feeling frustrated. I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons why that might be happening and how we can fix it. Now, if you've been watching my videos, last week I did a YouTube video for the Hot Yoga Beginner. This is more for the intermediate, advanced, and the ultra advanced. And like I said before, there are 3 reasons why you may be stuck in your practice. 2 of these reasons you can do something about right away. The third can be a little tricky, and it's definitely the most important one, so make sure you watch the video all the way to the end. So let's explore reason number 1. The first reason why you may not be improving is because you may not be coming enough. How often are you doing your yoga practice? How often are you getting into that hot room? I've said it before, my prescription for the average yogi is 4 times a week minimum. 5 times is great, 6 times is ideal. If you've heard me before on my videos, I'm not a proponent of doing 7 days a week, take 1 day off. But if you're a serious yogi, you want to improve, 5 should be your minimum, 6 is ideal. Now, before we continue on, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the like button if you're enjoying this video. You want to learn all about hot yoga, tutorials, videos, factoids. Hit the subscribe button and the like button right now. Back to the first reason. You've got to build momentum in your practice. If you're doing yoga 6 days a week, for example, when I was in my peak and we were actually doing 3 or 4 classes a day, which is insane.
Now you're just showing off. 1
good class, solid class a day. On occasion, you may want to do a double. But if your first class of the week is on Monday, by Friday and Saturday, you're going to be peaking. So if you're doing every other day, you're always in catch-up. I've said this before many times. You've got to build momentum and let that momentum increase. So one of the reasons why you may not be improving, why you may be stuck in your practice, you've got to come every day and build that momentum. But if you are coming 7 days a week, you may be burning out because you're not giving your body a chance to recover. So if you're a super fanatic, I know many of you are out there, if you're doing 7 days a week, and if you're doing doubles within the 7 days a week, you may be burning out and the body just can't take it anymore and it's going to shut down. Give yourself that chance to recover. Take at least 1 day, 2 at the most. 2 at the most, but 1 good solid day of recovery, and you're back at it in the first day of the week. And if let's say you start on a Monday, don't have too much expectations on that Monday. That's your catch-up day. That's the day to get all the cobwebs out, to get yourself ready for the week. Now, just to drive the point home, we used to do a 5-day-a-week challenge at my yoga studio in Fort Lauderdale, which I had for 39 years. Makes me sad to even think about it because we had to close 4 years ago. But we would do this 5-day-a-week challenge. And people that were doing 2-3 times a week would take the challenge because we gave them a little prize afterwards. When they started doing yoga 5 days a week, they would see more progress in the first 2 weeks of doing 5 days a week than they did in the previous 6 months doing 2-3 times a week.
That's pretty cool.
Building that momentum is absolutely key. Your body's going to respond. You're going to start to soar, get out of the plateau, and go to that next level. Reason number 2. Putting forth your best effort. Are you putting forth your best effort every day in that yoga room? Now, some days you may be feeling tired and weak. Some days you're going to feel stronger. Here's a very interesting formula that I calculated over the years. The days that you're feeling tired and weak, those are the days that you can push it. The days you're feeling super strong, like you can do anything, like you can accomplish anything, those are the days you have to back off.
Does that make any sense?
Because when you're feeling super strong and you start to push it, your body's going to fight you because your body's energetic. And when that happens, you can injure yourself. The times that I've injured myself, and let me tell you, I've injured every single area of my body that you can imagine over the last 40 years, especially in the beginning when I was fanatic, were the days I was feeling super strong. The days when you're feeling weak and tired, that's when you can then push it, even though it seems like it goes against their psychology. That's when your body will respond and go to the next level. Now, here's another very important formula that I calculated. Less in the beginning, more at the end. Emmy Cleaves, who taught me the advanced class, may she rest in peace. She just passed away last year. And she lived to be 95 years old, and she was teaching the advanced class in her 90s. God bless her. But she wasn't the sweet grandma old lady. In yoga class, she was tough. She was actually tougher than Bikram at times. And she would kick your butt. So when she'd start to coach me, she'd watch me into the position, especially in the advanced postures. And she would wait until I was just about spent, just about ready to come out of it. And then she would get on me because she knew At that moment, that's when my body will respond. When my body starts to fatigue, it starts to tire, then it starts to become more pliable. Then she would start to push me, shoulders back, chest down, hip down, whatever the cue was for whatever posture it was. She would get on me, she wouldn't stop until I was pretty much exhausted, but that's when I would take it to the next level. And also understanding where you are in your practice. I call this the curve. I may want to make a full video out of this. But when you're starting out in your practice, you're just going to ascend. You're just going to continue to get better. Then you're going to plateau, and then you're going to get better and plateau. So actually, this video is for those of you who are plateauing, but you still have room to improve and take it to the next level. But some of you, as you get older on in age, you may be going down the curve. Because just think about it. When you're 90 years old, there's no way you're going to be doing yoga the same way you did when you were 30. Gravity's going to take over. Your body's going to age, and you're not going to be able to be as strong. You're not going to be as flexible. That's just the truth. It's not that you're always improving in yoga. So understanding where you are on the curve. But if you're on the upswing and you're plateauing, this is where the video is going to drive home. For those of you that are a little bit older on the downswing, and that really doesn't matter how old you are in age. It's actually how long you've been doing yoga. For example, back to Emmy Cleaves again, she didn't start her practice till she was 45 years old. She was peaking somewhere around 60 years old. Now, somebody that starts to practice like me at 25 years old, I was peaking at around 35.
Still showing off, huh, General?
So 60, I was always on the downside of my curve. So once again, it's not how old you are, it's how long you've been practicing yoga. So now you understand the curve concept. If you're on the downswing, now it's different. Now you have to have a whole different mindset. I'm gonna make another video on that in the future, I promise. But once again, you can't bully your way through the practice. If you're feeling really strong and energetic in a particular day, back off. You can't be going too far at that moment because your body's too strong, and therefore the body's going to resist the practice. It's going to resist the flexibility or the elasticity. So you want to make sure, and the days you're feeling strong, to back off. The days you're feeling a little tired and weak, that's when you can push it, take it to the next level. Your body's going to respond. So like I said before in the beginning of the video, the first and second one. The first one, are you coming every day? Are you coming 5-6 days a week? Number two, are you putting forth your best effort in that time and understanding how your body physiology is working? So the first and second one, you can do something about the situation right now to change your practice. But the third one's a little tricky, and that is, ready for the drum roll, are you in the proper alignment? Because if you're coming every day, you're putting forth your best effort, and you're not in the right alignment, you're going to be spinning your wheels. One of my favorite metaphors, I've said it many times on the YouTube channel before, on my videos, it's like the toy train. The first train, the engine of the train, if those wheels are not lined up on the rail, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. If you had a toy train, you know what I'm talking about. You've got to get them to line up properly. But as soon as those wheels line up on the railing, the train takes off. Same thing in your yoga practice. If you're off position, your body's going to be stuck. If you're working against yourself, you're not going to be able to go to that next level. Another metaphor of mine is like the key that unlocks the door. If the tumblers don't fit into that lock exactly, the door will not open. But as soon as the tumblers are lined up properly into the door lock, then the door opens. So once we get into the proper position and alignment, then the posture will take off. And that's where the experience comes in, because who taught me how to correct? Bikram. Emmy Cleaves, once again, may she rest in peace. That's one of the main things that Bikram did, was correct. That's something that I picked up on. One of the differences in my teacher train program, which I did in 1981, is that we didn't have a 9-week condensed course where maybe you had Bikram one class a day. If you were lucky, for 9 weeks only. My teacher train program, I was sitting in that hot yoga room with Bikram 3-4 times a day. I know it's insane, but that's what we did. So all I did was watch Bikram take notes on his corrections, on his alignment concepts, and then I took that with me into my 40 years experience, altered some of the alignment concepts, and make the corrections. Because when you're taking your students to the next level, when you're able to correct them and get that train on the track, get the tumblers to open up that lock in the door, magic will happen. That's sort of old school. That's what we did in the old days. There's not that many experienced hot yoga teachers that are making corrections. If you were to enroll in the Barkan Method on-demand teacher training course, you can send videos to me and I can offer my corrections and I can give you video feedback. Actually, I was thinking about creating another course, I don't know if you can call it a course, where you don't have to do the teacher training program. You can just send videos of your practice and I could give you video feedback. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll create that service for you. Now, one of the things that we do in the online teacher training program course is we have a live session every Thursday afternoon at Eastern time in the United States. So Maybe later on in Europe. In Australia, it's actually Friday morning, where it's a live session. We send a Zoom link, people log on, and at the end of that session, I post pictures and we play the game. What's wrong with that picture? And I usually post pictures from the 26 and 2, even though I do post pictures from the Barkan series as well. We start to learn the technique of correction. Now, we're not correcting to make people wrong. We're correcting, one, so people don't hurt themselves, and two, and the whole purpose of this video is to take people to the next level so that they're not stuck, so that that train is moving on the tracks. The key is opening that door. It may be just some very small, intricate thing. Your knee just be a little bit out to the side. Your grip might be just a little bit too high and standing hip to knee. Get out of that plateau and soar in your practice. Now, let's sum it up. If you are doing yoga on a regular basis, 5-6 days a week, this is more for the serious yoga student. You're putting forth your best effort. That doesn't mean you're peaking all the time. We understand when to peak and when not to peak. We have the peaks and valleys. Putting forth your best effort, and you're in the proper alignment. You're doing the best possible thing you can for your practice. If one of those three components are off, one of those spokes of the wheel are off, that could be the reason why you're plateauing and why you might be feeling frustrated. So come as many times as you can, 5-6 days a week. Put forth your best effort. Make sure you're in the right alignment and take your practice to the next level. So that's our episode for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. You want to learn all about hot yoga, tutorials, flows, factoids, hit the subscribe button and the like button right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.